This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. 5 things you need to know in about 10 minutes for Monday, October 28th, 2024. I'm Derek Gilbert. Please, if you would, wish my best friend, Sharon K. Gilbert, happy birthday today. Item number 5 today, Israel. Israel launched its retaliatory strike against Iran over the weekend, about 4 weeks after Iran's ballistic missile barrage on Israel. The IDF said the Israeli Air Force strikes targeted strategic military sites, specifically manufacturing facilities for drones and ballistic missiles, as well as launch sites, air defense batteries, things like that. Didn't strike government targets, didn't strike civilian targets. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Sunday that Israel's air attack was precise and powerful, achieved all its goals. Opposition leaders inside the Israeli government saying it wasn't enough, but that's what opposition leaders in government do. They're just as divided in Israel as we are here in the United States. Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei warned that the government in Iran would determine how best to respond to the strikes. Now, notice, didn't promise a retaliation, just would determine how best to proceed. So how do we interpret this? It appears to me, not that I'm an expert, but it appears to me that both Israel and Iran have engaged in a rather intricate dance where both sides can claim to their people that we executed a precise and powerful strike against the enemy that didn't do enough damage or, frankly, cause enough casualties. Remember, the Iranian strike against Israel only had one fatality, and that was a Palestinian Arab in Jericho who was hit by a piece of falling shrapnel. Both sides can save face without having to escalate this into a war that would be extremely expensive and destructive on both sides. Iran has also already seen its massive investment in Hezbollah and Hamas pretty much reduced to almost nothing at this point. Do they want to lose more by provoking Israel into a much more powerful attack? I don't think so, but let's pray that I'm reading this right. Topic number 4, Trump. Donald Trump sat down with Joe Rogan on Friday. Rogan is he hosts the #1 podcast in the Western world. He's got millions of followers. It's no exaggeration to say that, in my view, this was the most important political broadcast since David Frost sat down with Richard Nixon in 1977, 3 years after Nixon resigned as president. The 3-hour discussion between Trump and Rogan was wide-ranging, covered everything from tax policy and the border to extraterrestrial life and UFC, which apparently President Trump is a fan of. Joe Rogan does color commentary for the UFC. This was a big deal. As of Sunday night, the YouTube video had nearly 30 million views. And that doesn't count the views on Spotify, which is where Rogan's podcast is hosted. Nearly 1 million posts about it on X, formerly Twitter, as of Sunday night. The contrast between their organic conversation, which, again, 3 hours, Trump appeared focused, clear. He does what he calls the weave, which I can relate to. You get into a conversation, you start with a topic, you maybe move over here, but you bring it back to the topic before you finish your point. The difference between that and Kamala Harris's fake pre-scripted appearances could not be more striking. Rogan has set himself up as a power broker, a political power broker, whether he meant to or not. He's got 14.5 million followers on Spotify, another 17.9 million followers on YouTube. Again, the YouTube video alone getting 30 million views within the first 48 hours. You know, when you look at his followers on Spotify and YouTube, even if you round it off, assuming that there's some overlap between the two, that's about 30 million followers. The #1 rated talk show in America, hosted by Sean Hannity, has about 16 million listeners per week, roughly half the audience that Joe Rogan has. So yes, this 3-hour interview is a very big deal. Now, if I was in Joe Rogan's shoes, I'd have to think long and hard about making this a regular practice, bringing high-profile politicians onto his show, because you got to believe that political consultants and campaign strategists are looking at this and saying, we got to get Rogan in on the next campaign. And then you've got big money backers who want their candidates to win, and suddenly, if you're not careful, you lose control of your show and thus your life. Your life suddenly being dictated to you by other people. A very interesting development as the internet and podcasting and this sort of internet broadcast is now taken over from network news as and the newspapers, the media, as a number one way for campaigns to get their message out to the people. Speaking of which, topic number 3, Kamala, she's basically down to 2 talking points. Number 1, Trump is mentally unstable, he's unfit for office, which anyone who watched that Joe Rogan interview would find laughable. For 78, Trump is still very sharp and informed on a wide range of topics. Number 2, this is the main talking point that they are really pounding over the last week. As I told you last week, Trump is literally Hitler. This is what they're going with in the final week of the campaign. Trump is literally Hitler. Hillary Clinton picked up that ball and ran with it toward the end of last week, claiming that Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden Sunday night was a reenactment. A reenactment, she used those words. Reenactment of a 1939 rally at the Garden by the German-American Federation, or Bund, that was pro-Hitler. In other words, Trump is literally Hitler. Now, Hillary seems to have forgotten that back in 2001, as a brand new United States Senator from New York, they held a big party for her at Madison Square Garden, and that her husband Bill in 1992 accepted the Democratic Party's nomination for president at Madison Square Garden. This smells like desperation. And these claims don't seem to be landing because, well, it leads to topic number 2. I did not see this coming. Muslim leaders in Michigan endorsed Donald Trump for president. This is Trump welcoming them on stage at a rally in suburban Detroit. Now, this appears to be motivated by the support by the Biden-Harris administration for Israel, such as it is, against Hamas. Imam Bilal al-Zuhairi said, "We as Muslims stand with President Trump because he promises peace, not war. We are supporting Donald Trump because he promised to end the war in the Middle East and Ukraine. The bloodshed has to stop all over the world, and I think this man can make it happen. I personally believe that God saved his life twice for a reason," end quote. I'll say again, this was not on my radar. I did not expect it. Trump is the most pro-Israel president in American history. And yet, Muslim religious leaders in Michigan, which has the largest Muslim population in America, endorsing President Trump. If Michigan, if Michigan goes for Trump, Harris does not have a very clear path to victory. Michigan being a very important swing state in this election next week. We'll see. This is in the Lord's hands. God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who is, as a Trinitarian Christian, Jesus Christ. He is the one that, according to the prophet Daniel, raises kings up and tears them down again. We'll see what happens next week, but this is very, very interesting. Coming up, the very worst campaign ad ever. Bar none. Next on 5 and 10.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can watch this incredible new documentary by the legendary Steve Quayle along with writer and co-producer Daniel Holdings right now by streaming it at skywatchtvstore.com/stream. Follow the QR code on your screen right now to stream it instantly or get your very own physical DVD copy when you order the Earth in the Crosshairs special offer. Earth in the Crosshairs demonstrates how the literal gates of hell have opened and what it means for all of mankind. This incredible new film takes you on a journey that examines the trans-dimensional invasion occurring on planet Earth right now and what the Bible has to say about the end times. Featuring Steve Quayle, Daniel Holdings, Dr. Travis Taylor, Cliff Mahudi, Marcellus Medina, Jesse G., William Henry, and more. But that's not all. When you order the Earth in the Crosshairs special offer, you'll also receive the 2 DVD collection Unmasking the Ancient Gods featuring Derek and Sharon Gilbert. Join them as they walk you step by step through full-length presentations on subjects like epigenetics and the age of the machine, self-directed apotheosis, return of the great old ones, Crowley, Chaos, and E.T. Disclosure, charting the uttermost north, why Gog of Magog won't be human, and many, many more. You'll also receive The Assyrian on DVD featuring the one and only Ryan Pitterson. This special report exposes the dark blueprint of the end times Antichrist that has been hidden within the ancient texts, illuminating a plot set in motion now that will introduce the mysterious Assyrian of the book of Isaiah, who is set to return very soon. Sold separately, these items hold a retail value of $100. Yours now for your donation of only $45, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. So don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Earth in the Crosshairs special offer.
Item number one today. You got to wonder what the political consultants who came up with this one were thinking. I'm not even going to show you the full screen cap of this image, of this ad, because it's vulgar, much less showing you the ad. Liberals, apparently, this is a political action committee. This was not done by the Harris campaign or any Democratic candidate running for Senate or Congress. This was a political action committee that supports Democrats. Put out an ad that's being shared on the internet right now that is trying to scare young men into voting for Kamala Harris by telling them Republicans will take away their porn. Seriously. Again, I'm not going to show you the screenshot. The title of this ad is, no kidding, Republicans Rubbing You the Wrong Way. Use your imagination, and yes, it's that bad. The political action committee behind this spent $2 million producing this ad. Look, the ad shows you a guy with one hand holding his phone and the other under the blanket. There's something deeply, deeply wrong with people who think that this is a valid pitch for a political campaign and not a scourge in our society that's threatening to tear families apart, that is tearing families apart. This liberal America in the 21st century. Skywatch TV's next virtual conference, The Resurrection War. We released the videos on November 30th, and as of 12:01 a.m. Central Time on the 30th of November, you get access to more than 24 cutting-edge presentations from preachers, teachers, researchers, authors, and you decide what to watch and when to watch it. In other words, you set the conference schedule. Pastor Carl Gallup's Messianic Rabbi Zev Porat, scholars like Dr. Igal German, Dr. Mike Spalding, Dr. Doug Hamp, archaeologist Dr. Judd Burton, many others, including all of us on Skywatch TV. My presentation is titled The Resurrection War because ultimately that's what this spiritual war is all about. Find out more and sign up soon because you get a $10 discount signing up through November 15th. Normally $95, just $85 when you sign up through the 15th. 90 days access from November 30th. If you sign up after the 30th, you still get 90 days access. Don't miss it. Take advantage of it now at defenderconference.com. Defenderconference.com. Daniel Holdings on the main show this week on Skywatch TV. This is his new video titled Earth in the Crosshairs. Actually his, but Steve Quayle's new video. Daniel Holdings wrote the script and appears in the video, but this is Steve Quayle's new production, the DVD Earth in the Crosshairs. Just jaw-dropping stuff, looking at how the fallen realm, the principalities and powers and cosmic rulers over this present darkness are trying to take this creation that God called good and tear it apart. That's really what this is all about. Don't miss the program. You can watch it right now at our website, skywatchtv.com. It's on our broadcast this week, the over-the-air schedule posted, skywatchtv.com/channels. That's where you find out where and when to watch. You can also catch it right now in one of our set-top box applications, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, or Fire TV. If you've got a smart TV, add the Skywatch TV app to your TV and catch it right there. You can watch it on the internet, YouTube at Skywatch Television, Rumble, rumble.com/Skywatch TV, or get our app and add it to your phone or tablet. That bypasses the gatekeepers of big tech, those who would just as soon not have these this information getting to you. Bring it right into the palm of your hand, whether it's iOS, Android, or Amazon Kindle Fire. We've got apps for all of those devices and links to their app stores at skywatchtv.com/app. You can follow 5 in 10 online. We post links to news articles of interest at 5_in_10 at X, formerly Twitter, and of course our YouTube channel at 5 in 10. Thank you for watching. As we keep watch, I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.